What's up, y'all? This is 10X Generation, and this is my road to $1 billion. So that app that I was talking about, say I'm going to do in the meantime, now that my kind of passion for the decentralized cloud computing platform has fizzled out, well, it's done. It's completed. I call it Hello Future. Basically, it's a motivation and self-improvement app that gives you valuable advice from the future. I think it's a creative spin on those quotes apps that just kind of spam you with quotes to get you through the day. This one takes those quotes and puts it in the perspective of a future, more advanced, more successful, better you talking to you through time, right? Which sounds kind of complicated, but really what it amounts to is just the theme of kind of just like either mystical or kind of futuristic, and changing the language of the quote. So it would say things like today, current, like first thing when you open up the app, it says hello future, and then you go through a questionnaire that asks you a bunch of your things that you kind of struggle with. Either it's relationships, or it's motivation, or exercise, or health and wellness, or whatever, right? And once you finish that, I have a huge list of quotes, of messages, all these things, and it picks quotes and messages that are good for you. And like I said, they're in the perspective of a future you giving you advice. So if you say you mess up, you're not super good with motivation, or let's say consistency, it will say things like today a wonderful opportunity will come your way, or around this time a good opportunity come your way, but you must stay consistent in order for it to come about, or like that. And also sprinkled in motivation, like you are on the right path, keep doing what you're doing. It's just like that, and it's real simple. So I was able to get it knocked out really quickly. There is a premium subscription associated with it if you want the pro version, the plus version, and that unlocks some themes, so you can change the look of the app. Which, I would say, what's the point of that? Why would you, like, if you're gonna upgrade, get something really like meaty? But there's two reasons why I didn't. The first reason is because that's more time to code. Those cool meaty things will come in the future, and future iterations, as the initial base idea is proven. And two, in my competitor analysis, I found that there are other quote motivation apps, and most of them give you 99% of the content up front, and the part that you pay for is actually like cosmetic. And when I was working on this other application, that touch link with the other guy, just when I speak with people, they say, I want the full application, I want to get access to all the features, and I will pay kind of just like to give back to it, which is really interesting to me. So I'm going to test out that strategy. Of course, I can switch it up if it doesn't work, but that's the strategy. So I'm going to give all the quotes, everything that you pretty much want is going to be free. And if you want that additional 2%, you can go on the monthly plan. But like I said, I'm really excited about this app because I get to do something creative. I have a lot of cool ideas of things that I want to do. I want to add in a slider that can turn up the temperature of these messages. So one side is going to be the very passive, very nice, very encouraging. You can do it. Today we'll need this, so make sure you're this. Keep going, all that. Then there's going to be, like, on the other extreme, there's going to be, imagine yourself in the future who's angry, who's not able to feed their children because you, in the present, didn't make the proper decisions. And it kind of just puts that in your face. I don't know if people are going to want that. But it seems fun to program and write all those crazy messages. So I'm going to put that in there sometime in the future. But you can imagine getting a message while you're like lounging, watching YouTube, a message like, one day, or in the future, when the markets crash and they just like some crazy message, just some crazy message, like your failures will be perpetuated throughout your lineage, so get better, or I don't know, just some crazy stuff that you could put, that's really supposed to put in perspective how much time you could potentially be wasting. And of course, this is going to be a slider, and maybe there'd be like a little warning that says, hey, this stuff may be triggering, so only use it if you need to. Just bring up the reality. If you want to become more healthy, it puts the reality of not being healthy in your face from the perspective of somebody in the future. So of course you can imagine what the messages could be, like that, or even like a timeline thing where you filled out that initial questionnaire, and then throughout the months and the weeks that you're using this application, it asks you little questions about your progress. And because this is Hello Future and it's kind of a time-themed motivation app, there's going to be a timeline that can show you your progress, and you can see the diverting timeline. So if you're not hitting your goals, like there'll be a screen, a big line, a timeline, and then all those diverting paths, like alternate timelines. And then, so you can see you want to be here, but you're here, and there's all these decisions that you have to make, and you can like somehow visually explore those alternate times. So you can really get, really put in perspective how your decisions actually do make your future. Everything that you have now is a result of your past decisions. Just really put that in your face, in a non like, and in a just a, you know, kind of fun way, which is kind of exciting. Those are fun things to be able to program, and the fact that I'm actually helping something. It's like, if somebody can use this app and it motivates them to become a better person, that seems really cool, and it seems like an awesome thing to make money off of. So that's pretty cool. I kind of just rambled with that. But another thing I was thinking about with this app is that Neon Controller and GPU Overlay are within a very small niche, extremely small. It's people who are interested in playing PC games on their phone, but without a remote, but with a on-screen customizable touchscreen overlay, and it's wireless, and that has a lot of like drawbacks, and like there is also like a complexity associated with it. Like you have to be familiar with streaming, game streaming, and there's a setup on your computer. So the market is very small, and I don't know what the total market size is, but let's just say it's customizable controllers. Let's say it's a $500 million industry. I don't know. I'm just throwing these numbers out there, right? That's Neon Controller and GPU Overlay, right? I made a certain amount of money on that. Next, there's the decentralized cloud computing platform, Neon Arcade, which I've made. That deals with cloud gaming. That market is about, I think it was 4 billion cloud gaming. So you can think of all the cloud gaming services all combined within a year, total of about $5 billion a year. Self-motivation is like 40 billion. So, you know, that's at least 8 times bigger, right? Of total money kind of circulating through it. My first app, 500 million, this one huge. So like the potential money that can be made, I think is a lot higher. And also because of that complexity component, GPU Overlay, Neon Controller, they're kind of complicated to even wrap your head around. You have to have a good understanding of a lot of different things. Right? So when I market it, it's actually kind of difficult to market. It's a little difficult to market, and I've seen that the wording of the app is super important, because people will assume that GPU Overlay and Neon Controller is cloud gaming, but it's not cloud gaming. It's remote PC to mobile gaming. So you have to have a PC. So I get people confused a lot. So that may be another reason why my marketing is pretty ineffective. But motivation, that's so simple. It's ubiquitous, right? Everyone understands what that is, and it could be easily marketed for. And the market size is much bigger. So I do think my hypothesis is that this app will become much more profitable than my other applications, much more combined. Much more combined. So I think there was one more thing I wanted to say. Much more combined. Yeah. So my goal with this application is basically to become turn it into a, like, I hate to say it this way, but just being frank, I want it to become a system for duplicating money, right? I want to be able to put in $1 on average and get out at least $1.01, right? I want a money multiplier. I want to be able to throw this up on the App Store, provide enough value, right? Have a good enough funnel, right? And then run an ad campaign where I can put in X amount of dollars and I can get X times A back, right? That's what I want. So if I'm able to do that, of course, I can use my investment money to bring that up to scale. And I know the market size is quite big. So hopefully that inflection point isn't like crazy. But that's really what I want. I want to be able to just go crazy with this. And another reason why I think this thing could work, I'm of course optimistic about everything I do. But when doing my market research or competitor analysis research, I found other apps that kind of do the same thing. Real super simple apps, right? But the number one app in this genre on the App Store only makes, it's one of these, but it actually doesn't matter. It makes either $600,000 a month or $600,000 a year off of their in-app purchases. And it's structured fundamentally the same way as my application, right? That's kind of why I put the cosmetics behind a paywall, because they're another reason. So if that simple application can get to that level, right, I think there's hope. I think there's hope. And GP Overlay, there are hardly any, I don't think there's really any other apps that are like GP Overlay. Not really that many apps like Neon Controller, and they don't make that much money. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Guaranteed. So very optimistic. Hopefully I can get that. It's going through Apple, so I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'll make a video once it's up there on the App Store. Maybe you guys can check it out. I don't know. Maybe it'll give you guys some motivation. You know, that's the goal. Yeah, that's really it. So I'm pretty optimistic. I'm gonna head off to the gym after this, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching. This is 10X Generation, and I'll see you guys next time.